Hey everybody! Time for another 10-minute Tuesday. Tonight I'm going to talk about hydration and why it is so important for keeping our bodies functioning properly, getting us through our day in an active way, and just an all-around general good health tip. So hydration is a thing that a lot of people have heard about. You know, we have the recommendations that we always hear about: 8 glasses of water, 8-ounce glasses of water a day. But how realistic is that? So I'm going to get into what might work better for your body, why we need so much water, how much is enough, how to know if you're getting enough, and why water is so important, how it helps our body function. And so tonight we'll start with, why do we need so much water? Why is it so important? Why is everybody screaming at me through the blog posts and articles I read that I need to get more water? Well, water is a very important energy source for our body, along with the other things we're doing, the fuel that we're putting into our bodies. It helps our cells complete important activities that contribute to good sleep, restoration of our normal body systems, and also helps us produce enough energy to get through our day. So the average human body is actually over 55% water. That's pretty crazy if you think about it. Like, over half of your body is made up of water, which is nuts. Our heart and brain are 75% water, and our lungs have even more water in them, which is really crazy to think about. And it's estimated that we lose between 68 to 100 ounces of water every day. That's a lot of water going out of our body, and that's done in 4 different ways. So that's coming out in our urine, in our bowel movements, our sweat, and actually a lot of it comes out just through respiration. So just your everyday normal breathing, a lot of water is being lost in that process. So we need to actually compensate for this fluid loss to avoid dehydration, because dehydration is very bad for us, and I'll get into some of those effects here in a minute. So how do we know if we're getting enough water? And like I said, the most common recommendation is to drink 8 glasses per day that are 8 ounces each, which would be 64 ounces of water a day. So that's a great starting point, and that's why a lot of people just use that as a general template to follow, but we can actually kind of hone it in a little bit better for our specific body type, our own weight, our environment, and even the activity level that we have on a daily basis. So even if I'm the same body shape, weight as somebody else, if we have different activity levels, they're still going to need maybe way more water than I need if I have a sedentary desk job, and maybe they're on their feet all the time as a waitress running around from here to there. So a more accurate goal would be to take your own current weight, divide it in half, and use that as the number in ounces you should be drinking every day. So that's going to be completely different for all of us. For women, this comes out to an average of 68 to 90 ounces, and for men, that's on average 85 to 125 ounces. So in that instance, you know, if just telling everybody to drink 64 ounces of water a day is really not enough for guys, because they're usually a lot bigger than us women. So they're going to need a lot more to actually keep their body functioning normally. So a very important point to think about is that liquid does not equal hydration. So if you're having anything else during the day that's not just plain water, if you're drinking sugary juices or soda or even tea and coffee, whatever is in addition to the water, your liver has to break that down to actually get to the water to be able to use that. So that's something to really think about. Just because you think you might be getting enough liquid, it doesn't actually mean that you're hydrated, which can be a problem. So how do you know if you are getting enough? Some of the common signs of dehydration are dark yellow or cloudy urine, constipation or digestive issues, or notable drops in energy, mood, skin moisture, blood pressure, or cognitive impairment. So all of these things can kind of be a precursor, like a heads up, your body's saying, hey, by the way, I'm doing something and I might not be functioning as well as I could be. So if you have dark yellow or cloudy urine, your body has basically been signaling your kidneys to retain water. So you're going to be releasing less when you go to the bathroom. It's actually storing that water because it knows that you're not having enough on the input side, and it's trying to store it up to perform its functions normally. So you're not releasing as much when you go to the bathroom. If you're constipated or you have digestive issues like ulcers, bloating, gas, acid reflux, or even IBS, irritable bowel syndrome, those are also a good indication that you might just need more water in your diet, because A well-hydrated body helps purge toxins and wastes out of your body, away from your important organs. So the water helps maintain the proper acid balance that you need. It helps you create enough mucus to aid in the movement through your digestive tract of everything that you're putting in your mouth. That's very, very important. And digestion is a big thing that I'll get into at a later date. Just learning all about the stomach and how it works and how it helps your body function is so interesting. So we need to stay on top of that too, our digestive issues. And having enough water, staying hydrated is a great way to do that. If you're having drops in energy, mood, skin moisture, blood pressure, cognitive impairment, that's because your brain is dehydrated and it's trying to work harder to accomplish the same tasks as a normally hydrated brain. So a crazy thing that I learned too a few months back is your brain actually temporarily shrinks if you're dehydrated. So getting the right amount of water is very helpful to help us, feel, think, and function at our best every day. So what can water do for you? It helps keep our bodies cool because it expands blood vessels to release heat. It cleanses toxins from our body. Our bladder and kidneys are like the toxin masters. They bring everything in, they filter it, your blood, your every bodily process, your liver and your kidneys and your bladder are filtering that stuff and pushing it out of your body because it doesn't want all that icky stuff in there. So staying properly hydrated allows these organs to function as they're supposed to. And if we're hydrated, we can help, prevent some of the bad diseases that are so common today in our world. So water can also aid in weight loss. It helps us feel satiated. So we often actually confuse, even when our brain thinks we're hungry, oftentimes we're actually just thirsty. So a good recommendation would just be, try to drink a glass of water, wait 20 or 30 minutes and see if you're still hungry. A lot of times if we just drink some more water, we feel like we're full and we're not going to go out there and be snacking on things or eating extra food that we actually maybe don't need. So water can actually help prevent allergies and asthma because dehydration creates more histamines that lead to congestion, difficulty breathing, and other allergic reactions that we might be having. And water also promotes cardiovascular health. So dehydration actually lowers your blood volume, which means that your heart has to work harder to pump the blood through your body to get the oxygen where it needs to go. So this includes our brain, which is very important to have enough oxygen in your brain. The rest of our cells too. So if we're dehydrated, we could be having issues, walking up the stairs or exercising because we're just so out of breath. Our body and our cells is not getting enough oxygen as it should be. So my recommendations here are to take note of any of the symptoms that I mentioned, any of the dehydration symptoms, and there are a vast number of them. I only mentioned a few today. Take note of any of those symptoms if those stood out to you. Track your daily intake of water for a week. I say a week because, day to day you could be doing different activities. You might be really active one day and not so active the next day. You might be having a bigger change in water. But if you could track it for a week, you can use a water app tracker. You can just write it on a piece of paper or keep it in your head. But go for a week and track your water intake. See what the average is for the week. Are you getting enough? And use the calculation I mentioned earlier to determine if for your body weight, you're actually taking in enough. So my number is going to be a lot different than somebody else's number based on our body size. And use that calculation to see if you're getting, enough water for you in your daily life. And instead of reaching for sugary sports drinks, try adding a pinch of sea salt and maybe some lemon juice to your water. If you're one of those people who's bored of water or you hate the taste of water, I've heard that a lot. Just try spicing it up a little bit. There's lots of different ways. You can add fresh herbs. You can soak cucumber slices in your water overnight. There's lots of ways that we can kind of spice up our water with healthy things still to make it taste a little better to us while not detracting from the benefits of the water. And one of the ways that I like to do that in the summer especially is to add some citrus essential oils into my water. Those are really refreshing. They're meant to help your body as you go along too, instead of creating more of those things, toxins that I mentioned, like salt, sugar, caffeine that have to go through your liver and be processed to actually get to the water. So there's lots of ways that you can spice up your water. But the bottom line is we all need our water. So I would challenge you to track your intake, see if you're getting enough, and then try to drink your recommended daily amount and see how much better you feel after a 1 to 2 week period. Because I guarantee if you're not getting enough now and then you have enough after a couple weeks, you're going to be feeling a lot better, your digestion's going to be better, you're going to be functioning a lot better, and you're going to be really happy that you decided to do that. So that's all for tonight about hydration, and I hope that was helpful to you, and I will see you all again next week for another 10 Minute Tuesday.